Good morning, I'm Al Litman, Mayor of Mesquite. Before I give you today's COVID report, I'd like to introduce a couple special guests with me this morning. Michael and Debbie Benham are here to talk about the Parade of Lights and the annual food drive.
I'm Mike Benham, and this is my wife Debbie. We started the parade 6 years ago, and when I mentioned it to the mayor, it's the only thing he got wrong in the 10 years I've known him. He said, Mike, it won't go, it will be way too cold, and the people just don't come out for parades. In the 6 years, we have grown from 800 pounds to last year of 8,439 pounds. We're hoping this year to hit the 10,000. And we have some great companies coming on board and groups. The theatre group are on board this year. The Republican Ladies, Mesquite Ford have also now joined all the other businesses in town to support this great event. Although we can't do the parade this year, we are very sorry, but the food drive must go on. The food banks are in desperate need of food, and we're asking everyone out there to please come and help this great event.
The event was scheduled for Thursday, December the 3rd, has been canceled because of COVID. We are still going to collect food, which will be split between the Virgin Valley Food Bank and the Salvation Army. I am asking that businesses, clubs, and organizations help us with the task at hand. Food and non-perishable items can be dropped off at the Jimmy Hughes Complex, formerly known as the Deuces, at 150 North Yucca Street on December 1st, 2nd, and 4th between 5 and 8 p.m. Please call me at 702-324-2038 to schedule a drop-off time. There will be 3 awards given for the groups that collect the most food. First place is a trophy and a plaque, second place is a plaque, and third place is a plaque. The awards will be presented at the City Council meeting on January 12, 2021. On December the 3rd, Santa and Mrs. Claus will be available at City Hall from 6 to 8 p.m. Social distancing and face coverings are required. Food can also be dropped off then as well. While we are disappointed that we can't have the parade, we believe it is the right thing to keep everybody safe and healthy. We hope that we can have this event next year and make it bigger and better. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike and Debbie, for all you do for this great event. This morning's COVID-19 report is 402. I have to report that our positivity rate is up, and not due to the number of tests being given. 2020 could be described as one continual disaster. Fires, hurricanes, racial unrest with never-ending protests, some violent, some peaceful, political infighting on all levels, a presidential election that could wind up in the courts, no stimulus bill that could help millions of Americans in need, the biggest dark cloud of all, the COVID-19 pandemic, that after 8 months is getting worse, not better. Interestingly enough, there are still a number of people that think it's a hoax. Never mind there will be at least 300,000 dead Americans by the end of the year. Many of them might be members of your own family or friends. And don't forget the thousands of long haulers that remain sick months after the first symptoms. I can't imagine what this is doing to our healthcare system and the finances of those without adequate medical insurance. With so many states seeing continual rises in cases and hospitalizations, everyone from first responders, medical staff, and mental health professionals are overwhelmed with no end in sight. Mental health professionals say the increasing factor is COVID fatigue. I'm not talking about the physical fatigue that so many of us suffered from the virus, although mental fatigue can lead to physical fatigue. I know there's been a resistance to masks all along. I've heard it for months. I've received so many emails on the subject that I can't answer them all. Strange, I never hear anything about the wearing of seatbelts, texting while driving, and other proven dangerous behavior. Our state and local health departments are getting reports of people who won't mask up and won't cooperate with contact tracers, quarantine, or get tested after coming into contact with someone who is infected. The problem, as many see it, is while people may be over the virus isn't over them. We know infections and hospitalizations are surging in nearly every state. Although Nevada is not experiencing a surge, the daily average of cases is rising much faster than we would like. There are a number of reasons. We live in a mobile world. Nevada is receiving about 1 million visitors a month, a lot less than before the pandemic, but still a sizable number from all over the country. Many travel here from states with a high rate of COVID, are asymptomatic, and have not been tested just before coming here. There isn't much we can do about it other than social distancing and a mask. I do know that OSHA has stepped up their inspections and will continue to do so for the foreseeable future. We need to get our kids back in school for a number of reasons besides just learning. Their mental development depends on the socialization skills being with others. We need to open our senior centers, as socialization is key to the mental health of our elderly. Our governor is data-driven, admits as much when he talks about reopening. We need our numbers down, but now we're approaching the holidays. More than ever, we need to use our common sense in whatever we do. We can't be separated by political parties, debates over constitutional legality, or other arguments. The virus just does not care about any of this. I know masks can be a hassle, but without a vaccine, we need to at least try and slow down the virus. And the real experts tell us a mask is the next best thing. I know it's not a perfect solution, but it's better than nothing if we want to get back to some kind of normal life in the future. On a somewhat related subject, we have just finished a number of elections. I have participated in elections for the past 55 years and have never experienced anything like this one. I'm not talking about our local elections, but the presidential one. The election may be over for some, but not others. I take no sides. I do know, however, that many did. We need to start the healing process. We have a damaged economy and a surging pandemic that has affected more than 9 million people and killed many thousands of Americans. We are facing historical division that must be addressed. I won't belabor this subject, but I just read a survey by the Pew Research Center. 47% of Republicans and 71% of Democrats said they wouldn't want to date someone who voted for the candidate of their opposing party in the 2016 presidential election. Will the polarization of our current election lead to further conflicts? I hope not. In all my years, I've never seen boarded up windows in our major cities because of the fear of violence following a presidential election. I believe the residents of Mesquite are different. I'm sure there'll be difficult conversations, listening and understanding. Yes, we have some division, but we can and will work through it. Healing is possible, they say, but people have to be willing to try. My hopes for this city and country are high. Let's move forward. Remember, it's important to keep the faith. We are Mesquite strong.